And welcome everybody to another episode of Babblin podcast. You have me, Nathan. You have my boy Ethan. You have my other boy Michael, and you got Ben. So
hello.
I love the energy.
I just want to say,
yeah, my name especially. That was so good, man.
Yeah,
so depression inducing.
We have Ben.
It's Ben. Fuck off. So
He wears Reebok jumpers. No one
he
likes
wears
him.
Reebok jumpers. He doesn't get recognition. I want to start off by saying, Happy National Fish and Chips Day, everybody.
Happy
17th.
National Fish and Chips. Is
I
anyone
don't
having
really
fish
knew
and
that.
chips today?
I'm
no.
probably not.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We'll try that one tomorrow.
Is that true? Have you
got a-
pulled out your ass?
No, that is an actual thing. I've literally
Imagine.
found it
Really?
I was just making it up.
No, it is. 7th of June is National Fish and Chips Day in the UK.
Are you guys much of a fan of fish and chips? Because I'm actually not a big fan of
I'm
fish
not
and
having any of
chips.
the fish and chips unless there's curry sauce involved. Like, I don't know what
I
that's
must
on.
say, when I go to the chippy, I don't know about you, but I love just a chicken or a lamb doner kebab. That's
Yeah,
I
I mean,
just have
every
mixed
time I go
meat.
chippy, I don't really go fish and chips.
Nah, mixed meat. Mixed
Yeah.
meat chips.
I'm
Sweet
weird.
chili, mint yogurt sauce, sorted.
I'll just have the
I-
the hot chili.
Mint yogurt sauce. It's amazing.
I get a burger. I just like a burger
I've had a
from
burger
anywhere,
before.
really. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't really
I-
go to the
yeah.
chippy for a burger, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have. Yeah, my family will get fish and chips, and I'll have a
Yeah,
burger.
Ethan, you're the weird one.
That's usually how
Like
it
a
goes.
standard
Yeah.
chippy, like a takeout place, yeah. But the chippies are different to like a takeout place. I find like a standard chippy, not like a.
Nah, I get what you mean.
Chippies are open all day. Then you have your takeaways that open at like 5 o'clock onwards. You know what I mean?
So in conjunction with it in National Fish and Chips Day, so in conjunction with that, I've literally just found on Instagram by Lad Bible, there's a map which is called Takeaway Britain, top takeaways revealed. So considering you three are around Birmingham area, whereas I'm closer to London, the top takeaway in Birmingham, can anyone guess actually? Was anyone
An
wanna guess it?
Indian.
No,
Gotta be
McDonald's.
a Mackey's, isn't it?
not Mackey's.
McDonald's. Really?
No.
Pizza.
Chinese.
It's Chinese. It is Chinese.
Yes.
Chinese.
I fucking
food.
hate Chinese though. Chinese can get in the bin.
What?
Mixed, mate. I'm mixed.
Chinese
I
can get in
use
the bin. I'll go for a curry any day of the week over a Chinese. Fuck a Chinese. Chinese.
Welcome
shit.
to
Why?
Ben's very last episode of Babblin.
I must say, with a Chinese, though,
you and your fucking Reebok.
you can have a bit of everything in a Chinese, though, can't you? A bit of fucking chow mein.
You
Big
know,
chow
not
mein.
Nice.
No,
I had some
you
fried
can't.
rice yesterday. It was
Yes,
just
noodles.
greasy, shitty noodles. Just days old, probably. Crappy
old?
rice. It's probably like Uncle Ben.
Days old.
Yeah.
Uncle
All right,
Ben.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Right, you want to hear a story? Yeah. So you
Oh,
know
there
that
we
the
go.
place where I work, there's a Chinese right next to it. About 2 years ago now, one of my colleagues in the morning was taking the bins out, putting some stuff away, waste and all that, things that go out of date, putting in one of the dump truck bins. And she caught one of the colleagues at the Chinese rummaging through her bin. She was taking tomato, celery, and some rotten chicken breast out.
Oh, that's not
Probably
good.
either eat for
Oh,
herself.
my.
Yeah, so fuck Chinese. That's what you're eating, mate. Fuck off. dickhead.
What do you mean
Every
they took it
Chinese
out?
ever.
What do you mean? They just
Yeah.
went in the bin and thought, oh, like, it's been here a few
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Smells
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I'll
Is
do
that the
that.
staple for all
Yeah.
Chinese food then? It just comes
Yes.
out of the bin.
Yeah. If it's
Racist.
Chinese comes out, look. Oh,
Ben Kirby
Keep it labelled.
exposed.
Oh no, that's
Racist.
not. You can already see the
Voted
headline.
for Brexit.
Oh, jeez. Bloody hell.
Bloody
The
hell.
thing I like about
Everyone on my Tinder
Chinese,
who reads my bio knows that I voted for Brexit. It's fine, isn't it?
the thing I like about Chinese is that a lot of them advertise having seaweed, but do you know what seaweed actually is? It's actually just fried cabbage.
Yeah.
We've been
Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
I
So-
thought seaweed's fucking seaweed.
But with me,
Nah, yeah.
as I say, with Birmingham, according to Lab Bible, the number one takeaway is Chinese.
moving.
But can
I'm
anyone
moving.
guess London?
Um,
That'd be like-
don't
it'll
know
be
if
I'll
it's
give you a
Outland.
clue. I'll give you a
Fish and
clue.
chips,
It's
mate.
no. I'll give you a clue. It's actually not far off from Chinese.
Indian.
No.
That.
Korean.
Sushi.
Sushi. It's sushi.
Sushi.
Oh,
I'm fucking good at
really?
this. I'm
I
so
do
good
like
at this.
sushi. I'm not had it.
What's my prize, Nathan?
I like sushi.
Nathan,
to be
what's my
fair.
prize? I want a prize.
What's your prize?
Yeah.
I'll send
Sushi.
you a new jumper.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be a
I-
Primark one, but
Fantastic.
Nathan, do you remember when we went to have a sushi in Coventry not too long ago?
yeah, that wasn't too bad.
That was the first time I had sushi properly.
Isn't that near the?
Yeah. I
that-
had my girlfriend's one.
Is that near what's it called? The Mercy, just around the corner. That's
It's
sushi
near
place.
the bus station.
It's not far from Sprinkles,
Oh,
mate.
I know what you mean now. Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
across from the bus
yeah.
station.
Actually, I think
Yeah,
I've
I
fucking
think I know
been
what
there.
you
What's
mean.
it called?
I can't remember the name.
Can't remember, mate. It was nice, though.
Sushi something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I've been there. Yeah, it's probably got
Um,
sushi in the name. That.
So speaking on takeaways, so we know that Birmingham's apparent favourite is Chinese and
I'm moving.
sushi. But what's your personal favourites? Let's start with you, Ben. If you're moving,
An Indian. I love a curry. It's perfect, man. It's got everything that you need. Fills you up. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you still got a bit of curry left with some rice, maybe a bit of naan.
Who the
So-
fuck leaves
and that
leftover
Greek
curry?
yogurt thing. Me, mate. And what? Fight me.
Just eat the whole
That
thing,
little bit of
you
yogurt
pussy.
sauce. No, there's loads there, mate. Just have a load of rice, bit of naan.
That little bitch.
No, you're a
What's
fucking
your-
monster.
Ben,
Towel
what's your
free it, look in the bowl, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that looks pretty appetizing. That does. Looks the exact fucking same, dickhead."
Ben, what's your
Bit of
what's
salad.
your-
Hear what he said.
Ben,
Wanker.
what's your choice of naan? Mine is the coconut one, Peshwari,
No.
or
Did
I
you-
like a keema naan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
got
hold
to
on.
be. It's got to be keema naan.
There's
Easy.
choices of naan.
Yeah, you get like
Yeah.
there's different stuff in there. And the keema naan, it's like pepperoni in it.
Oh,
something
Michael,
like that.
you
Really?
need to
Some
lose
form
your
of
naan
meat.
virginity, mate.
It's
I
good.
had no clue.
Virginity.
I thought it was just one naan
You
bread.
never had a tikka
No, there's different
naan?
fillings.
Tikka naan.
Tikka naan.
I didn't even know,
Just a
mate.
naan
Oh, wow.
stuffed with loads of good stuff.
And Chinese,
Really?
man, just the noodles, it all tastes the same. It's all greasy and just like, just
All
Nah,
right,
it's
before-
not that bad.
frothy.
All right,
It's all
before Ben has a
slippery.
heart. All right, before Ben has a heart attack on how much he hates this, let's move on to the next person. Michael, what's your favourite takeaway?
Oh no,
Oh no.
what's happened?
What are you on
What?
about, you idiot?
Ooh, what was that?
Oh no, this isn't good. I've lost him.
What?
What do you mean? What
Oh.
you've lost? What have you lost?
Oh no!
Oh, no.
difficulties.
Oh, he's losing
Hey,
it.
look, it's
Oh.
froze. Look at his
It's
face.
frozen. He's frozen in time.
No.
It looks like Buzz Lightyear. Not Buzz Lightyear, Woody. Oh, there he is.
No, it looks like Andy, the kid that like fucks up all the toys.
No, you know who he
Which-
looks like? That bully in the background.
Oh,
Oh, he's back. Here he is. He's
Okay,
back.
okay.
Hello.
Oh shit!
Oh, no,
Sorry
it's
about
not
that,
Andy,
guys.
is it? No, Sid. He looks like Sid from Toy Story.
Yeah.
That's it. There you
All right,
go.
back to the
Fuck
point.
someone
Back to-
else.
Right, go on,
Yeah.
Nathan. Go on.
Sit on
Sorry
your
about
right.
that. I don't know
Yeah,
what
right,
happened. Yeah.
right.
Right, yeah. So back to the point. So,
Ask Sid what his favourite takeaway is.
yeah. All right, Sid. What's your favourite takeaway then?
Fucking Toy
Was it-
Story 2. No.
Banter.
My favorite takeaway. Fast foods count, right?
Yeah, I can't fast food. Yeah.
Because I would like I'm a fast food guy. Like that was a good rhyme. Like I like Indian and Chinese, but like for me, I'm always in the mood for McDonald's or like KFC or Domino's. Like honestly,
Basically everything.
and that's
Oh,
to
son,
me
you're
is
in
the
luck
good
with the McDonald's opening back up.
See,
in the UK.
I went for
Fast food.
McDonald's the other day and I beat the queue. We went at 8. It was me and my girlfriend. We went at 8:20, I think.
That's sad.
And
Is that
like,
the time you
literally-
gotta go? Exactly. 8.
no, well, we just happened to be around and we're like, oh, should we go get a Mackey's? And the queue was like non-existent. So we just
Fair play.
worked it on in there. So
Fair
yeah.
enough.
I
And
lost
man,
my
it was
hearing because of
good.
you just now, Michael.
Why? Oh, sorry. Is it a bit too sorry.
Got very excited with McDonald's there. But come on, if you had to choose like a traditional takeaway, you got your
Yeah,
fish
come
and
on.
chips.
Traditional
Chinese curry, come on.
curry. I'll go-
Yes. Fuck you guys and you.
I like curry.
Chinese
I didn't
takeout.
say Chinese was my favourite. I'm just saying it's pretty fucking good.
So what is your
fuck you
favourite,
anyway.
Lenif? What is your favourite?
I guess there's phases you go through, but I must admit, curry's probably up there.
Yeah.
I do like Chinese. There's nothing against it, but a curry, mate. Everyone loves
I'll go
curry.
wrong with a curry,
Okay.
to be fair, mate. It is good. It is good.
What do you
Perfect.
have though? Like, I mean, when I usually order it with my dad, because we're all like fat bastards, we love to go for like a bit of everything. So we'll have our own curry. We'll have like half a rice, chuck some chips in there, naan, a few poppadoms. Like, you get all this like random salad stuff you just launch that in,
Yeah.
good.
And the chutney as well. You can't forget about the chutney.
What with the poppadoms, like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's quite nice. Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I'm very much a mood person. I can jump from craving a Chinese to craving like a pizza to craving a burger to Indian or whatever. I think the one I always stick with most is pizza.
What's the
Like,
worst
can't go
though?
wrong.
What's the worst feeling? Because you know when you have a takeaway, sometimes you eat it, you feel fine, but then others you bloat as fuck. You feel
I'll
like-
say curry is also the worst feeling after you've eaten it as well.
Yeah,
Like, it's the
yeah.
I
best,
always
it's the
have
worst
it
feeling.
after a night out.
I think
whenever I
pizzas
have,
are bad. They give you like indigestion. The fuck. And if you eat it too quick, you're like.
Well, Ethan.
Yeah.
Ethan. The only reason you say that is because when we all went out before and we all got a large Domino's, and you practically, as if you rolled it up into a calzone, and just tunneled it down your esophagus.
He deep-throated a pizza trying to imagine it was something else.
That was a wrong guy.
Slow night for Ethan. He didn't pick anyone else up, so he pretended the pizza was something.
Compensation, yeah.
Rolled it all up.
When the night's gone the wrong direction.
Yeah, that was
it didn't work out.
Yeah,
Pizza time.
Pizza time.
Pizza time. Quite literally.
Yeah.
It was pizza time.
So that's a really good thing about takeaways, though. Not being able to roll it down your throat, but just, being able to sit down and just enjoy your time. And what's a better time to have a takeaway than to put on a movie?
Exactly.
And what's a good series to put on?
Not Star Wars. Fuck that.
Not Star Wars. Not Star Wars. Are you skunked?
Yeah, Ben, what's...
Stop saying skunked. No one knows what that means. Stop
I
it.
know what it means.
All right, before we get on to the series,
if you thought I smelled bad or something.
Before
But
we get on these series and talk about them, what about these shit-ass films that have just recently come out over the past few years? Fucking...
Wait, what?
Well, the Star Wars films, the new ones.
Oh,
sequels,
I thought you meant what shit-ass, like, just general movies.
On the bat.
So you're talking about the sequels then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I feel like... I mean, the first one, The Force Awakens, for instance, is technically just a remake of the New Hope. They kept it safe. It was all right. I quite enjoyed that one. Then from after that, Episode 8 was random as fuck. Just nothing really happened. Just a chase. And the last one, what was the point of that?
Oh, I don't know. The thing is, when I watched Force Awakens, I realised how much it was close to A New Hope. And I was like, do you know what? I'm not even mad because that's the safest bet they could go through. They had a B-Tech Death Star, they had a B-Tech Darth Vader. Just everything was B-Tech about it, but it was acceptable because it was the safest bet.
Darth Vader.
It was. Kylo Ren's just an emo B-Tech Darth Vader. Like, that's all he is. Like, he probably listens, he probably sits in his room reading Kerrang magazines. Like, just like...
Well, Rey's pretty much Luke in a sense, isn't she? No
heavy metal music.
It's just Luke with boobs.
Yeah, no parents. She lives in the desert.
I mean, it's like, I don't mind that whole story about copying from A New Hope, though. That's completely fine. Because, again, they're reintroducing the franchise to everyone. But then I watched the other two films, and then I realised they're not just copying A New Hope. They copied the entire whole thing, like the original trilogy.
Yeah. I mean, it's got something to say about the whole movie execs and what they really value most in making a movie and, a saga. And really, they put money at the forefront of everything, especially in this case. They really had no plan going for, like, Kathleen Kennedy or whatever the fuck her name is.
The thing that sold it, though.
Yeah.
They had no sort of structure with the films at all. They just let them go rampant. And then Ryan Johnson came along, fucked up the second one, and everyone hated it. Then JJ came back for the third one. His heart clearly wasn't in it anymore, and he just threw something together, and both of those films were crap. I really enjoyed Force Awakens, though. It was good. I enjoyed that one.
That started off good. I had a lot of hopes for the next two, but they obviously didn't.
And Han Solo, that film was crap as well. I didn't like that.
Go on, Mike. You sound like you're going to...
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought The Force Awakens was really good. Because, like, it was the feeling of Star Wars is back, and, like, they're actually feeling like the original movies, because you still had that bad taste of the prequels. So when The Force Awakens was out, I was like, oh yeah, it looks good. It feels like it's moving in the right direction.
It's funny you say that, though, about the prequels. Like, the prequels are full of action. That's what you want in a Star Wars film. You want fucking fight scenes. Yeah,
I think
story probably lacked a bit.
The dialogue was poor, though. The dialogue.
I think the crucial thing about, when you look at each trilogy, it's all about the message they're trying to convey. So when you look at the prequel, that's like the Jedi and this, like, almost the Sith, like, almost at their peak of power. That's why you get all those sick fights. True. Like, Duel of the Fates, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul will always be one of the top ever fights in Star Wars media. And again, that prequel era is about how they're all at the height of their power. And the original trilogy was more about, like, this oppressive regime. It was this dictatorship that was the Empire. So it was just more about the Force will save us. It's like, cool. Like, there's this thing called the Force. And then the sequels was just, I don't actually even know.
I think the sequel's like, well, I'm a Force sensitive, I'm just going to try to, like, become the best. And then before my granddad's called Palpatine, like, and I'm just going to take the name Skywalker because why not? Why the fuck's that? Mong survive? Why didn't fucking Kylo Ren survive? Like redeem himself? That would have been a better.
Yeah, because Kylo Ren was the best character in the entire like sequel franchise.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I do like.
He had a
him.
good
Yeah,
arc.
he's the one that you can invest.
He was a
in
good
most.
character. Like I just didn't really. The one thing I found, especially in Star Wars 9, I just didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I really.
I
didn't.
remember the movie started, and I was with my mate and my family, and I was like, man, do I really have to watch this? Because I don't care. I don't care what's going on. I don't care that freaking Emperor Palpatine is back. Like, I don't give one.
Man, the old lad's on like a fucking crane. It's like,
Yeah.
What's the point,
I think
like?
what annoys me most is that obviously when you watch the first two films in that sequel, the Force Awakens and Last Jedi, there's no mention of anything like him. You get Snoke, and then you get your Kylo Ren, your Hux, and that, and it's like, all right, cool. We've established like
That's the thing.
a redone version of the Emperor and that, but it's like it's still different in its own way.
Yeah.
And then the first time we heard the Emperor was coming back was a fucking Fortnite event. It was a live event on Fortnite where it was the Emperor playing an audio message, and that was the first ever time we realized the Emperor was going to come back. And it was like
Trying to cash in by the sounds of things, aren't they?
it was literally solely about money, because it's just like they went onto a big game like Fortnite, and that's how they made the news out that the Emperor was coming back. It's like,
look who we have. It's the Emperor. You guys like the Emperor, right?
But you
Come
like
and
Star
watch that
Wars?
movie.
You remember the old guy? Do it. You remember him?
Yeah.
Like, he's back. Like,
You know one thing?
He's
You know
going
one
to do his
thing I
electric
find?
thing.
Yeah.
I am the Senate.
I mean, the old lad started the party though, didn't he? Fucking like lightning all them ships. I mean, who is he like?
Yeah.
You know?
I
tell you what.
felt like I was at like a David Guetta concert watching that. Just like,
Like Led Zeppelin or something.
I tell you what, he had a cool outfit though. I quite liked his outfit.
Oh yeah, he added a bit of red on there. Like,
Look at him rocking that
um,
black and red.
It's not all
Yeah,
dead
the red
though
was
with the
good.
whole Star Wars thing, though, is it? Because you've got like the TV shows as well, which are still going strong. Mandalorian, Clone Wars, they're pretty good. I haven't watched Clone Wars, but
Ooh.
Mandalorian's brilliant.
The Mandalorian is so good.
Well,
Yeah.
since finishing uni, I'll speak about the Clone Wars first. Obviously, when you watch the films, you miss so much like of the details in between what happens, and so many characters you never get to see or experience. So it's like an ever-expanding universe, really, and it just keeps gripping. Like, obviously, when I mentioned a minute ago about the prequels, you're sort of in there for sort of the action scenes, really. Yeah, the dialogue and the story probably weren't great, but I don't know about you, but I loved them fight scenes in it. That's what I remember as a kid. And in the Clone Wars, mate, it's complete action all the while. And the story is pretty good as well. You get to go on these journeys with these characters and that. And obviously, Mandalorian's recently come out. And, what's this? Mandalorian's recently come out. And it reminds me of like an old Western. What do you think?
It's like spaghetti Western.
Yeah, no. Western is a great way. I mean, especially when that music comes in.
Yeah.
It's
very like Clint Eastwood's Good, Bad, the Ugly. Like that's what I like about it.
It's great.
It's basically what the Mandalorian is. Technically, sort of like a bounty hunter. Well, that's what they are in the Western, aren't they? Technically,
yeah. It's like old school Django,
sci-fi Western. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's class what they've done with it. And the guy, go on, Mike.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, what's so great about the Mandalorian as well is, I love TV shows where you can kind of like say, oh, I really want to watch this show. And you can just pick any episode and just watch it. Like, that's what I quite like about the Mandalorian. Like, there's no, like, obviously there's a story arc, but I could like go and watch episode 4 and like just watch it and enjoy it for its own particular episode.
Yeah.
They all have, each episode is really good. Like,
I think my favorite one has to be the prison one, the one when they had to go break the guy out.
Yeah, I agree.
That was a really good one. Just like him pitted in a position of like having to go back to his old teammates, that he's just like, I'm not about that life anymore. And it's like he has to, work with this group that he's always been skeptical about, and knowing that there's a problem, it's just sort of like, oh boy, like it really puts the stakes up. It's really good.
I wish we didn't see his face though. Like, I think that's the whole mystery about the bounty hunters and the Mandalorians and stuff, not knowing who they are, the mystery behind, like not seeing their face. And obviously you do see his face. I think it's a penultimate episode, and I don't know. Ethan doesn't agree on that one, but I didn't like that. I wish we didn't see his face. I like the actor. The actor's brilliant.
No,
It's
Yeah,
cool.
Pedro Pascal's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I reckon
brilliant.
that's why they did it. I think it was because they had such a big star. It's like, hey, by the way, we got this star. Come watch that.
Yeah,
You
that's
reckon it's
very
like a little
true.
ploy? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one good thing I like about
yeah.
this series, though, is the guy who's in charge of it, as well as John Favreau. It's Dave Filoni. I swear he's an executive producer. He's the one who created the whole of the Clone Wars series
Clone Wars,
and
yeah.
Rebels. And his storyteller, he's basically just a big fan, and he knows all the Star Wars lore in that. And he's
Yeah.
an ideal candidate to make like these series.
He
And
should
that's
be the
why it's so
guy.
good.
Oh, sorry.
That's pretty much all I'm going to say. That's why it's so good. 'Cause
Yeah.
he knows all the shit. He ain't just, he's passionate about it. It's not just for money like these stupid fucking sequels.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, because I think he should be the guy that took over the sequels. Because Kevin Feige, for example, with Marvel, he knows the shit. That's why those movies are pretty good. If you had, it's Dave Filoni, right?
Yeah.
Dave Filoni, yeah.
If he took over the sequel films, I reckon they would have been 10 times better. Kathleen Kennedy, she's all about the what's going to get the young audiences in, what's going to get the money made. That's the issue there. I think that's why, you know, The Mandalorian is a great example in the Clone Wars of how Star Wars should be. And it's a shame, really, because, like, I think it has a lot of potential. It's one of the best franchises in, you know, that's ever been invented. Yet you have these sequel movies and so many mishaps. It's just like, where did it go wrong, you know? And
The thing I really like about having these TV shows is that Clone Wars had originally aired back in like 2008, and season 6 ended about 2013, and this is before all the sequel stuff. So obviously we had like a long period where we didn't know if we were going to get season 7, and there was a lot of concept art and stuff, and it was just like, for people like me and E, for example, who are like big fans of that show, it's just like we had no idea when it was coming back.
It's something to do with the Marvel buying Disney, wasn't it? Not Disney, sorry. The buying Star Wars. Disney buying Star Wars.
Something like that, yeah. Because they had to figure out like what they were going to make canon and stuff. So the stuff that's in books, a majority of that isn't canon now. So all the stories of Han Solo having kids and Chewbacca going out and he died saving Han's Sith son or something.
So pretty much everything you see in like live action is all canon, which means it's all like real. Like it all
means it's all in relevant time.
Even the latest game, even that game that came out, Fallen Order,
that's canon.
Order 66, when all the Jedi's are pretty much getting slaughtered. Brilliant game if you haven't played it. Like, it's well worth it.
Well, good game.
But
I haven't played it myself. I've seen the ending of that game though, where you have to fight off against Darth Vader. Spoilers, I guess, but
yeah, look at Ben's face off.
Yeah,
played that lot.
Well done.
Did I spoil it for you, Ben?
Just...
no!
It shows our power. That's one thing I love about Rogue One, as well as the end of this game. It just shows how fucking powerful Vader is. Mate, he's just
man,
up like
he's such a cool villain. Honestly, I do love Darth Vader. I would love to see more of him, but there's not really much else they can do with him in the movies and stuff. Obviously, because he's dead. But
that kind of brings me back. That kind of brings me back to the point I made about how prequels was all about Jedi and Sith being at the height of their power, and then like the original trilogy was all about Force. That's what I like, because you didn't need all this explosive like quadruple backflip fights in the original trilogy, because Darth Vader is just like this.
You didn't need to.
Like, if you like, when you see like Jedi Fallen Order, what he did there, but also when you see Rogue One, when he's going through the
the end,
it's like
corridor.
You don't need that
choreography.
Yeah, he's just an absolute unit. Like you don't need all that like backflips and like skill in that. It's just his presence alone. Everyone was just like, oh shit. But it's like, it's really good just to be able to get that different perspective of it.
I'd fuck him up.
I'd be paying. I'd be willing to see that.
I'm sure.
I mean, doesn't he like kill off one of the main characters in that game like straight away? Like, doesn't she like run forward and he just like swipes her?
He pushes off, but she doesn't.
The Inquisitor.
But he kills the Inquisitor. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know a lot about the game, but I saw that. Ben, are you playing it?
Well, I'm not being rude.
No.
Like, the old lads hasn't fair.
It came out ages ago, man.
Yeah, we're playing that. What are you doing?
Sorry, man. Too late.
Anyway, let's talk about the future of Star Wars.
Yes. What does everyone think? So, if we have a look at the lineup, we have Mandalorian season 2 coming out in October this year.
Yeah,
It has
and
not been delayed. Thank you
no.
very much.
And some of the people that have been, what's the word? Well, that might be in it. So you got Rosary. Is it Rosary Dawson? Something like that.
Rosie Dawson.
Rosario Dawson.
I think she might. Well,
Rosario.
she's rumored to be playing Ahsoka, which you probably wouldn't know who she is unless you've watched Rebels,
Clone
and
Wars.
Clone Wars, and she's probably one of my favourite characters in it. Her
really
story
good,
is
yeah.
brilliant as well. And what's his
Ethan
name's
wants a
back
bit
as
of
well?
Ahsoka.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, what's his name's back? The old lad.
Oh,
He gets
that'd be
eaten
good.
by. Well, you assume he gets eaten
It's
by.
probably
that
going to be
guy.
a.
Yeah,
monster.
Boba Fett's back.
It's going to be a flashback, right?
No, he's not
Well,
necessarily.
no, because
you
he
never
does.
saw
He
him.
does actually survive. But this is an interesting point because everyone brought that up when the news came in saying Boba Fett was confirmed to come back, and everyone was like, "Oh, but he fell in the Sarlacc pit and he died." But it's like when Disney were choosing what's canon and what's not. There's like a book about. There's a book, and in the moment in it, there's Boba Fett who's managed to like fight his way out of the stomach, and but of course that's not like a mainstream thing, so that's not something that everyone knows. So when you see in the news that Boba Fett's back, everyone's like, "Oh, but he's dead." But it's like, well,
Oh yeah.
it's a bit weird, but like it still makes sense in its own and that. So it's all about how much homework you can do on everything and what you know what's wrong.
Another real good thing is though, because obviously you'll know Nathan, like the Rebels and that. The last time you saw the dark saber was, I think I forgot her name, Sabine.
Sabine had it, yeah.
Gave it to, I forgot the woman. She's a Mandalorian as well. Who gave it to?
Bo-Katan, yeah.
Yeah, and the latest time you've seen it now is with what's his name, like is it
Gideon
Grand
Moff Gideon, or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Oh, is that figure he was holding at the end of the episode?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
So you get
Giancarlo
you get to
Esposito,
see
yeah.
all the history of that from the Clone Wars and stuff. That's why it's so
Really?
good. So it's fucking sick. Like
It's all intertwined. It's really nice. Like,
Oh,
just
so that
to
must
get
have been quite a
connectivity.
cool. That must
you
be
wanna-
quite. Yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
know what's good about the latest season of Clone Wars as well is because during episode 3, when that's taking place, you see the perspective of Ahsoka. Like at the same time, you see from her perspective of what's going on. So when, for instance, when Obi-Wan and Anakin are attacking General Grievous's ship, that's where Ahsoka's like confronted with Maul.
Darth Maul, isn't
she
it?
goes to
Yeah.
Mandalore. Yeah.
And there's the Mandalore siege and everything, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And then later on, obviously, Anakin sort of begins to turn, and Obi-Wan has to go and face. He eventually
Anakin.
faces Grievous, doesn't he? And defeats
Yeah.
him. And
Ben, I've noticed some silence from you. Any thoughts you have on the future of Star Wars?
I mean, it's one of them, man. Like, if I had to say anything, I mean, I'm looking forward to the Mandalorian happening. Clone Wars is something I'm not ever going to get into, I don't think. But the fact that they fucked up with the trilogy that they've just made on such a colossal scale, and Star Wars is the huge entity that it is within modern cinema, I don't think that they're going to fuck up like that again, I would dare say. Because, you know, it's one of those things you can take an example of with, like Michael said earlier, with Kevin Feige running Marvel and things like that. You've got to have someone at the helm who actually really cares about the product that you're putting out there to
like
people,
Dave Filoni,
regardless of the money. Yeah, of course you do.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
I don't think, I think in the future, because right now, I mean, coming towards the end of that trilogy with Star Wars, I really just didn't give a fuck. I didn't care. Like when Last Jedi came out and I seen what that was all about, I kind of just, I dropped off. I weren't fussed about it at all. But now that that's all settled and dust is settled, I think moving forward, I don't know what they're going to do movie-wise, but I do think it'll be a lot better than what.
I'd love to see them explore like the Old Republic. I don't know if you've ever watched the cinematic trailers for the game.
Yes.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. Yeah.
Really good stuff.
And if you really like the prequels and the action, they could really do something like that at probably a bigger scale because there was so many Siths back then when the Jedi. It was mad, wasn't it?
Yeah. So just a really quick point about. Go on, Michael. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to go off onto another thing. So what were you going to say, Nathan?
I was just to say. So with the future of Star Wars, as far as we can see of it, we have, as I say, Mandalorian season 2, which will come out in October, hasn't been delayed. You've got the Obi-Wan series, which has been scripted and finished the writing to film. You've also got
Tucker's doing a film, isn't he?
You've also got Ford director Taika Waititi. He's also done What We Do in the Shadows. Really good. You should watch that. He's planned to script up and direct a film, a future Star Wars film. And we've also got a female-led Star Wars TV series rumored to be making. No one really knows anything about, but
it's all quite hidden at the minute, isn't it? Exactly what all these series entails or films.
Because originally, what I like is. Go on, sorry.
So originally, the Game of Thrones creators were going to do one until they got dropped.
I was about to
so
say,
bloody
After the
Yeah.
disaster of that last season, it's probably thought, yeah, let's not
That's one
bother.
thing I like to talk
we'll
about at one
can
point.
these guys.
Let's fucking forget about it.
Yeah, no, they were awful. What they
Bloody
did to that
did.
show.
D&D are out of business after that. I mean, it's
I think what I like most about what Star Wars does now is that they go on their own tangent. What I mean is, like, rather than continue to make stuff on, you know, say the sequels that have just happened, you know, there's not like a TV show that's just like, what happened to Poe Dameron between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker? Like, you know, you got Mandalorian, you've got Obi-Wan, you've got this, you know, this new female one that's coming, and you know, they're coming up with their kind of their own original stuff, which I think is really good.
I saw something
got,
the other day. Go on, Ben.
No. I'm going to go on to something different.
Oh. Well, I'll
so
just
go
get
on.
rid of it. I'll just say this quick, the last point, and then we'll move on. I was reading up the other day. I saw, if you've watched the Rebels, you'll know a character called Ezra. You know Ezra, don't you, Nath? And basically, in one of the episodes, I think it's the last season, he ends up like saving everyone and going to another galaxy, doesn't he? Somewhere. He like sort of jumps forward in with the ships and stuff. And apparently, he's been there's going to be a live action film about that character. So
Yeah.
really
that'd
interesting.
be interesting.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we're all
quite
nerds
cool.
here, like, obviously. Yeah. Anyway, Ben, go on. What are you saying?
What
No,
are you
what I was
saying,
going to say, I just thought of this and I thought it was quite interesting. It is going off Star Wars just a little bit, but it still kind of links in, depending on what you guys really want to do. But if you were in a position of being able to create, whether it's writing or directing or a little bit of both, a huge blockbuster type movie with any sort of saga, so it could be like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, what would you make? What sort of film would you make, and what would it explore? Maybe there are some things from some comics that you'd like to look into more. Or maybe it's something personal that you could think of. Have you guys got anything that instantly jumps to mind of anything that you'd like to explore, like from a movie making perspective?
I think one independent kind of film I'd like to do is about the Illuminati in the Marvel series. That's a really good one.
That's a good one.
You've got powerful characters like Professor X, Iron Man. You've got Black Panther, Namor, the Submariner, and Doctor Strange. Like, it's just this really cool, like, summit of people that are, you know, but that's kind of based on the real life Illuminati, you know, like New World Order. And I think that'd be a really interesting world to explore.
That's a good answer. What about you, Heath? What would you go for?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'd love to explore like the Old Republic. Obviously, I'm not that clued up on it, but I do think it's fucking class. Like this whole sort of universe, and because I don't know if you've ever played the game. There's just so much going on. There's so many it's at their peak, isn't they? The Jedi. And
I ain't got a clue about that, to be honest. The Old Republic.
I don't know. Is it canon?
I know bits and
canon,
pieces.
The Old Republic. It is canon, isn't it? The Old Republic.
Yeah.
And I think the game and the book's about the only thing that we've seen. There's no actual sort of like films out there yet or TV series. There's like fan made stuff, but I think that'd be something I'd love to explore, where it's just a character and it's going on his journey. I don't really know, but that's something I'd love to see, you know, come to the screen for sure.
What about you, Mike?
I was going to say, and it might be a bit controversial, but I've always really wanted to take on the Transformers franchise.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Really?
I
love Transformers, yeah.
Because I adore that franchise. When I was a kid, I like, even though the movies are shit, I still really enjoyed like the concept of Transformers, and I like learned about the G1 cartoon, and I played all the games, and I even read some comics. Like, I don't know, I just really like those.
But when you say it's shit,
characters,
it's there for like the action, really, isn't it? That's what you're there for. You don't get fucking Michael Bay to direct a film unless it's just action. So.
I mean, that's the thing. I just feel like there's an interesting story there, because you know they're refugees. They got kicked off their planet because of a civil war, and they came to live here, and the war came here. And I think like, although, like, it's like robots fighting each other, there's a bit more to it. And I think
there is
interesting characters. Like, if you ever played Transformers War for Cybertron?
Yeah. Fall of Cybertron's one of my favorites, yeah.
They're really good, aren't they? Like, I really love
games.
those games. And I think they, like, just depict the characters more as, like, characters and there's a story. So I was like, I'd love to, like, take on that franchise and, like, film it.
Yeah.
That's
Finally,
interesting.
Ben.
I actually
What
like
about
that
you,
answer. I'll continue The Punisher. You know, that Netflix series that got cancelled.
Yeah.
I loved that so much. John Bernthal's performance was just great. Ben Barnes as a villain, I thought he was great. He's in Westworld as well, and he's just a great actor. I don't know. I was just really enthralled by both of those series. You know, like how R-rated it was, the graphic sort of content, the story. I was so invested in the character of the Punisher and what he was going through, what he stood for, and all the sort of villains and their motives as well. I really liked it. And then it was cancelled for some shitty. I can't remember why it was cancelled. They cancelled them all, didn't they?
It's something to do with an agreement, weren't it?
They
Disney
cancelled it,
Plus,
but go on, sorry.
wasn't it? Was it because Marvel are moving all their shit off Netflix and on
It kind of was, but it's also like some legal tendencies about extension or something. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But it's
I
like
read
already
something-
been on Netflix.
now
so they
what they're
couldn't-
doing is that within certain periods, within the next 2-3 years, they're giving the rights back. I think the first character they get
Daredevil.
Marvel gets back. No, it's Luke
Daredevil.
Cage. Then it's Daredevil. Then it's Jessica Jones. Then it's Iron Fist, and then it's just like all other.
I read
different-
the other day, Nate,
Ah.
that it's nearly been 2 years in this November coming since I think they used Daredevil or something like that.
I read that.
Yeah.
They
So
can then use
Daredevil
the
was
rest of
great
it.
as well.
Daredevil's
But
great.
if I had to do a film, it'd be Step Brothers, the sequel, though.
Step Brothers.
Yeah, I love that film. What another
Oh.
one? That'd be great. But
Just to reroute back to those Marvel Netflix shows,
Yeah.
which was, I'd say Daredevil was easily the
It's up
best.
there.
for me.
Daredevil's
For me,
the best.
Punisher.
Yeah,
was
I'd
I
say
did like the
Punisher.
Punisher, but I thought
Yeah.
Daredevil season 3 and even Daredevil season 1 was so good.
Oh,
Season 3
see-
was great.
I never finished it. I never finished
No,
Daredevil.
I never watched Daredevil season 3.
Really?
One of my favorites is Luke Cage, just for the culture. Because
love the
there is
first season of that.
There is a lot that goes into it. The second one's really good as well, actually, because of like you get the Jamaicans and the Haitians come over, and it's like me growing up in like a sort of Caribbean household. Like, it's really cool just to see that, even if it is in somewhere I don't live, which is like Harlem, and it's like it's really
Yeah.
good to see
I love
that.
the soundtrack. The soundtrack was really
Yeah.
good.
That's
I
how
thought-
that's how I found one of my favorite people now, which is Jadena, because he did a when he had Cottonmouth's
Cottonmouth,
theatre,
yeah.
he used to have all those special guests, and one of them was Jadena performing a song called "Long Live the Chief," and I fell in love with him at that point, and I just downloaded all his albums. I listened to him like most days. It's just a really good vibe.
Yeah, fair play.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Luke Cage has got a good soundtrack.
I thought.
Oh, I love
see-
the theme song or something. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it hits.
Good Man's a good song as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I know what you're on about. Go on, Mike.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I thought season 1 of Luke Cage was really good. I thought season 2 was a bit slow though. Personally, I
Yeah,
thought
fair enough.
it was a bit more forgetful. I really like Jessica Jones season 1 as
Yeah,
well.
yes.
I thought that
David
was
Tennant,
like,
man.
I need to
David
finish
Tennant.
season 3. Yeah,
oh,
Was it
I
season
gave
3
in.
of Jessica Jones?
There was
yeah.
a season
Season
three, yeah.
2 was, but I didn't bother with
I
season
think I
3.
watched the first 2. I never watched the last one.
I
I
never
ain't
What
watched
about-
This
Luke
made me
Cage.
cringe.
I ain't watched
Well,
Iron
Iron Fist. It was shit. Yeah, I didn't.
Iron
You
Fist
watch-
was.
Have you seen Defenders? I think that was shit.
Yeah, I didn't like
Didn't watch
Defenders.
Sigourney Weaver as the villain. like.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't they just kill her off again?
Yeah, they
Spoilers.
It does lead on to Daredevil season 3, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I
And,
like-
and that will be it for Babblin.
Alright.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much
shut
for
up,
listening.
guys. You're going on,
Wrap
yeah.
it up.
Bring it
up,
off the tangent. And
Yeah.
so thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank
be
you
sure
very
to
much.
tune in next time, and look out for the highlights. And we will see you later.